You wake up tired, even after a full night's sleep. By mid-afternoon, your stomach feels bloated and heavy. Maybe certain foods don't sit right anymore. Maybe your mood swings for no reason you can point to. You've probably blamed stress, age, or just a bad week. But here's something most people never consider. All of these could be coming from the same place, your gut. For a long time, we treated the gut as a simple tube that breaks down food and moves it along. We now understand it's far more powerful than that. Your gut influences your energy, your immune system, your mood, even how clearly you think. When it's struggling, your whole body feels it. The good news? You can do something about it. And you don't need extreme diets or expensive products to start. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 proven ways to heal your gut. Every one of them is grounded in how your body actually works. Simple to understand, realistic to apply. Let's get into it. Before we get to the 7 methods, let's quickly cover why your gut matters so much. Because once you understand this, everything else clicks into place. Inside your digestive system lives a community of trillions of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and more. We call this the microbiome. Think of it like a garden. When it's full of diverse, healthy organisms, it thrives and works for you. When it's overrun by the wrong ones, things start to break down. These microbes do incredible work. They help digest your food, produce certain vitamins, and train your immune system. In fact, a large portion of your immune defense lives in and around your gut. Then there's the gut lining, a thin barrier that decides what gets absorbed into your body and what stays out. When that barrier weakens, things can slip through that shouldn't, triggering inflammation. And here's the part that surprises people most. Your gut and your brain are in constant communication through what's called the gut-brain axis. That's why your stomach reacts when you're nervous, and why gut health can shape your mood. So your gut isn't just digestion, it's foundational. Now let's fix it. But before we dive into these 7 daily habits, if you're currently struggling with severe bloating, sluggishness, or feel like you just can't go to the bathroom regularly no matter how much fiber you eat, you need to hear this. Researchers have recently highlighted an 8,000-year-old underwater gut superfood that is changing everything we know about digestion. By using a simple 1-pinch trick before your next meal, it naturally allows your body to flush out up to 10 pounds of toxic buildup that might be clogging your intestines right now. It helps you empty your bowels twice as fast and achieve a light, comfortable stomach without restrictive diets, expensive probiotics, or medications. If you want to see exactly how this works, just point your phone's camera at the QR code on the screen right now to watch a short presentation. I've also pinned a link to it right at the top of the comments below. All right, let's get into our first daily method to start feeding that microbiome. The first method is one of the most powerful, and it's beautifully simple. Eat a wider variety of plants. Here's what that means. Most people eat the same handful of foods week after week, the same breakfast, the same few vegetables, the same fruits on repeat. The problem is that different microbes in your gut feed on different types of fiber and nutrients. So when you eat the same things constantly, you're only feeding a small slice of your microbiome. The rest goes hungry. Why does this matter? Because diversity is strength. A varied microbiome is more resilient, better at digestion, and better at protecting you. Researchers have repeatedly found that people who eat a wider range of plants tend to have healthier, more balanced gut bacteria. So how do you actually do this? Start counting plant types, not just servings. Vegetables, fruits, whole grains, beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices all count. A simple goal to aim for is around 30 different plant foods across a week. That sounds like a lot, but it adds up fast when you mix things in. Add a new vegetable to your usual meal. Throw a handful of seeds onto your breakfast. Swap one grain for another. Toss different herbs into your cooking. Small changes, big payoff. Feed the whole garden, not just one corner of it. The second method works hand in hand with the first. Start adding fermented foods to your routine. So what are fermented foods? These are foods that have been transformed by beneficial microbes through a natural process. Think yogurt with live cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, and certain pickled vegetables. The key is that they contain living, active organisms, not the shelf-stable versions that have been heat-treated and stripped of their cultures. Why do they work? While the first method feeds the good bacteria you already have, fermented foods actually introduce more beneficial microbes into the mix. They can help crowd out less helpful organisms and support a more balanced environment. Studies have shown that regularly eating fermented foods can increase the diversity of your microbiome and even calm signs of inflammation in the body. Now, how do you do this without overwhelming your system? Start small. If you're not used to these foods, a sudden large amount can cause gas or discomfort while your gut adjusts. Begin with a spoonful of sauerkraut or a small glass of kefir and build up gradually over a couple of weeks. Aim to include something fermented most days. Stir yogurt into your breakfast. Add a forkful of kimchi to a meal. Sip a little kefir in the afternoon. Small, consistent doses do the work. The third method is about removing what's working against you, cutting back on ultra-processed foods and added sugar. Let's be clear about what we mean. Ultra-processed foods are the heavily manufactured products packed with additives, refined ingredients, and very little real nutrition. Think sugary drinks, packaged snacks, fast food, and most things designed to sit on a shelf for months. They're engineered to taste irresistible, but your gut pays the price. Here's why they cause trouble. These foods tend to be low in the fiber your good bacteria need, and high in the sugars and additives that feed the less helpful microbes. Over time, this can shift the balance of your microbiome in the wrong direction. Excess sugar in particular can encourage the overgrowth of organisms that thrive on it, and some additives may even irritate that delicate gut lining we talked about earlier. Now, I'm not telling you to be perfect. That's not realistic, and it's not the goal. Instead, focus on swaps. Replace the soda with sparkling water. Reach for whole fruit instead of candy. Choose foods that look closer to how they appear in nature. A good rule of thumb: the fewer the ingredients and the more recognizable they are, the better. You don't have to eliminate everything. Just tip the balance back in your favor. The fourth method might surprise you because it has nothing to do with food. Prioritize your sleep. You might be wondering what sleep has to do with your gut. It turns out, quite a lot. Your gut microbes follow a daily rhythm, just like you do. They have their own internal clock that rises and falls across the day and night, working in sync with your body's natural cycle. When your sleep is consistent, that rhythm stays steady. When your sleep is erratic, it throws the whole system off. Here's why this matters. Research shows that poor or irregular sleep can reduce the diversity of your microbiome and shift it toward a less healthy balance. And it works both ways. An unhealthy gut can also disrupt your sleep, creating a frustrating cycle that feeds on itself. So how do you fix it? Aim for 7 to 9 hours a night and try to keep your sleep and wake times consistent, even on weekends. That consistency is what keeps your internal clock and your gut's clock running smoothly. Wind down before bed, dim the lights, step away from screens, keep your room cool and dark. You're not just resting your mind, you're giving your gut the steady rhythm it needs to thrive. The fifth method takes us back to that powerful connection we mentioned earlier, managing your stress. Remember the gut-brain axis? That constant line of communication between your head and your gut? This is where it becomes incredibly important. When you're stressed, your brain sends signals straight to your digestive system. That's why anxiety can give you a stomachache, or why nerves can send you running to the bathroom. The link is real and immediate. The problem isn't the occasional stressful day, it's chronic, ongoing stress. When stress becomes constant, it can disrupt the balance of your microbiome, weaken your gut lining, and slow or speed up digestion in uncomfortable ways. Over time, this steady pressure wears your gut down. So how do you manage it? You don't need to eliminate stress entirely. That's impossible. The goal is to give your body regular chances to settle and recover. Simple practices work. A few minutes of slow, deep breathing can calm your system fast. A daily walk, time outdoors, journaling, or even just stepping away from your phone all help. Find something that genuinely relaxes you and make it a regular habit. When you calm your mind, you calm your gut. The two are simply too connected to ignore. The sixth method is one that benefits nearly every part of you, and your gut is no exception. Move your body regularly. We all know exercise is good for the heart and muscles. But here's what most people don't realize. Physical activity also shapes your microbiome. Studies have found that people who move regularly tend to have more diverse and beneficial gut bacteria than those who are mostly sedentary. Movement appears to encourage the growth of microbes linked to better health. There's another benefit too. Regular activity helps keep things moving through your digestive tract, supporting healthy motility. In plain terms, it helps prevent the sluggishness and discomfort that come when digestion slows down. Now here's the reassuring part. You don't need to become an athlete. You don't need intense workouts or hours at the gym. Consistency matters far more than intensity. A brisk 30-minute walk most days is genuinely powerful. So is cycling, swimming, dancing, gardening, or anything that gets you moving and breathing a little harder. Find something you actually enjoy, because that's what you'll stick with. Your gut doesn't care how hard you train, it just wants you to keep moving. The seventh and final method is really two simple habits that protect your gut: staying hydrated and being smart about antibiotics. Let's start with water. Hydration plays a quiet but important role in digestion. Water helps break down food, move it smoothly through your system, and supports that protective mucus layer lining your gut. When you're dehydrated, digestion slows and things get uncomfortable. Some research even suggests that good hydration is linked to a healthier balance of gut bacteria. The fix is easy. Drink water consistently throughout the day and reach for it before you reach for sugary or processed drinks. Now the second habit, antibiotics. These medications can be life-saving, and there are times you absolutely need them. But here's the catch. Antibiotics don't just kill harmful bacteria. They wipe out beneficial ones too, sometimes dramatically reducing your microbial diversity. So the goal is to use them thoughtfully. Only take antibiotics when they're genuinely needed and properly prescribed. Never leftover ones, and never for something they won't treat, like a common cold. And when you do have to take a course, lean extra hard on the other methods afterward. Plenty of fiber, fermented foods, and rest to help your gut rebuild. Protect the garden and help it recover when it's been disturbed. So there you have it. 7 proven ways to heal your gut. Eat a wide variety of plants. Add fermented foods. Cut back on ultra-processed foods and sugar. Prioritize your sleep. Manage your stress. Move your body, and stay hydrated while being smart about antibiotics. Here's the most important thing to understand. These methods work best together. They build on each other. Better sleep makes stress easier to manage. Less stress makes better food choices easier. Movement improves sleep. It all compounds, and you don't have to do everything at once. In fact, please don't try to. That's the fastest way to feel overwhelmed and give up. Instead, pick 1 or 2 that feel doable right now and start there. Once those become habits, add another. Consistency beats perfection every single time. Small steps, repeated, change everything. Healing your gut isn't about a quick fix or a single magic solution. It's a gradual process of giving your body what it needs, day after day. The beautiful part is that your gut is remarkably responsive. Treat it well, and it begins to recover, often sooner than you'd expect. Be patient with yourself, stay consistent, and trust that those small daily choices are adding up to something real. One last note, everything shared here is general educational information, not personalized medical advice. If you have ongoing or serious digestive concerns, it's always wise to talk with a qualified healthcare professional who knows your situation. Here's to a healthier gut and a healthier you.